Welcome to another Auto Ricambi video, and today we will be installing this headlight relay kit on a FIAT Spider 2000. And we get the wiring harness and the two relays. We need to install the relays onto the harness. First, let's put the little bracket on the relay. And here. And then let's put this on the harness. And what we have to pay attention to is that when we push this in, make sure it doesn't push any of the wires out. It doesn't happen very often, but it's best to make sure. Everything looks good. First, we have to mount the relays somewhere, and right here on the inner fender well is an ideal spot. Actually, there's two studs right here. They are 6mm studs, and these holes are just a little bit smaller, so I enlarged them with a 6mm drill bit. And let's install the relays. We can either install both on the same stud or one on each stud. There we go. And actually under one of these I'm going to install the ground wire. I'm going to put a serrated washer on first, then the ground wire, and then the relay. And these are just common 6mm washers. These have a flange, not washers, nuts. And then just tighten them. So this longer run of wire is going over to the passenger side, so we'll just lay it out of the way for now. And of course we have disconnected the battery. So the next step is to connect the power wire to the alternator, and this comes with a fuse. I recommend at least a 20 amp fuse, but it kind of depends on what kind of headlight bulb one uses. So the ring terminal from the power wire has to be connected to the power output stud of the alternator. This is a 10mm nut, and I'm simply going to remove it, slip the power wire under it, and then put the nut back. Of course, here we have to make sure that the wires, the way they run, they're not rubbing against anything or touching against anything. Let's put the boot back. And now we have to run the wire to the other side to power the passenger side headlight. And some people like to put the wires in a root loom. Other people wrap them with something, but it's alright to run them just on their own as long as they are not rubbing against anything, and I like to run them so they are as invisible as possible. Okay, now that the brake fluid bottle is bolted back, I will clip the wires to the stock plastic clips that hold the wiring harness, and then run it as close to the firewall as possible. Now we're gonna run behind the coolant bottle. We have two blue wires coming off the relays, and we need to disconnect the wires that go to the headlight. It has a gray wire and a green wire. Easier said than done. There we go. And since the blue wires have one male and one female connector, it's not possible to connect these wrong. So connect the blue wires to the headlights connector, and the part that comes from the car, from the same connector, we connect the two green wires to. So this is the signal wire from the car. There I connected the green to the one that goes to the car, and now we just have to do the same as this on the passenger side. Connect the two wires to the gray and green wires that go to the headlights. These are the wires on the passenger side. This one goes over to the headlight, and this one is no longer used. It comes from the car, so we can just tuck it out of the way, and then we connect the two wires that comes from our relay kit to this wire that goes to the headlight. There's one more thing that we need to do, and that's to remove the fuses for the right headlight, as the stock wire is no longer being used. So we need to remove the 4th and the 6th fuse from the right.